Welcome back, y'all. Today we have a shade tree mechanic video. We're under the tree out here in the yard, or in front of the garage, and we're going to be doing a full brake job on all four brakes on my 04 Volvo XC70. So hopefully we can help you guys out if you guys are planning to do a brake job on your P2 generation Volvo XC70, or I think the V70 all has the same brakes setups. I think this is 03 to 07 is like what this applies to. So if you got that year of this car, you can do it. So we're just gonna run through real quick what you guys need for this brake job. Like I said, we're gonna be replacing or I didn't say it yet, but we're gonna be replacing the rotors on all four quarters and the pads. We're not doing the calipers, and I don't know if we're gonna be doing a brake flush. We'll see if we need that. But this is basically what I picked up. I picked up the parts from FCP Euro. So these are the rear calipers. I'm gonna include the link to the brake kit. It all comes in a kit. You buy all these together. It's like $305 or something, or $320 or something, and then I bought some other stuff, so I ended up buying like $400 worth of stuff on FCP Euro. But these are the rear disc. You can see they're just solid disc, one piece like rotor bit there. It's not gapped or cooled or anything. These are the rears, and then the fronts are the ones with the cooling channels you guys can see. So we're gonna be putting those on. These are the big front pads, and then you'll know these are the back pads because they're smaller box. And then as far as tools you guys are gonna need, you're supposed to use a torque wrench. If you guys don't have a torque wrench, this is Cameron's super nice snap-on that he got. So probably won't have this nice of a wrench, but I'm just gonna break. No, I'm just it's out of warranty. What the hell? No. We don't. This is for something else. We don't need that. This is a caliper compressor. So when you take the pads out or whatever, and you want to keep the caliper barrels or whatever the hell compressed, you put this in there and it goes like that. And then we also have some rubber grease. He has got his Toyota stuff that he works with or whatever. And this came with a little packet of grease. So this is the anti-squeal stuff that comes with, actually, from FCP Euro. And then you're gonna need a 19 millimeter to break all these bolts loose. And then I think you're just gonna need a typical socket set for all the rest of the stuff. And I think you might need a couple Allens, because these are studs on these cars. European cars, a lot of them have the studs on the wheels instead of just lug nuts. There's like a retaining bolt that sits on the rotor, so you screw that in, and then you put the studs on with the wheel afterwards, so it doesn't just sit on there perfectly. So yeah, we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna first, we'll just show you the first step. You want to break all the lug nuts loose, so you want a big ratchet or a breaker bar, and just break them loose just like that, and do it for all 20 lug nuts around while it's on the ground, so that unless you guys have a really nice impact gun or whatever, you're not going to be stuck up in the air with spinning wheels. So we're going to loosen them up, and then just the car will be jacked up basically. Okay guys, so we're down here on the brake caliper. We decided to just do the backs at once because the front, when you jack it up, it's kind of weird. And we don't have super great jacks and stuff. So if you see in there, this thing I'm pointing at, this is a 13 millimeter, and there's one on the bottom. You guys see where my finger is? It's kind of below, but if you'll see it right away when you get onto the car. So there's a 13 millimeter on the top of the bottom that holds the bracket that holds the caliper on. And then this is a 7 millimeter. There's a little cap that we took off. You'll feel it. It's like a rubbery.
7 mil Allen.
7 millimeter Allen. So like this. It's kind of odd size, and you're gonna need to reach that in there, and that will allow you to what it'll do, Cameron?
So that's so you can take the caliper off of the bracket, so you can replace the pads and compress the caliper.
Yeah. So this will get the whole thing off of there, and then this will get basically the pads out, like working on that. So we're gonna try to loose. I don't know how tight this is. We broke the other ones loose already, the 13. Okay, that's loose, and then there should be one on the bottom as well. Oh, maybe there's not. Oh yeah, there's, okay. And this is what the little cap looks like, guys. Where's the little cap? Just can remove it by hand. So, yeah, here's a little 8mm wrench. Is it on there? Yep. Okay. So it's just broken loose. We just want to break them loose right now. And then we're going to start with the 13s, right?
No, you're going to start with 7s. You want to take the caliper off first.
Okay. So I'll just keep doing, I'll go back to the top here. So we'll come back when that's off. Okay, guys.
So we got this spring right here.
Yeah, I already took this. You just literally pry out with the screwdriver. These are just straight in there, and it literally just literally pop off. So don't lose these. You're gonna need these. Something else works like this. So you guys want to look at the pad. It's even wear, which is good, but very low, obviously. And go open the box of the little ones. Well, and I can show you guys what the new ones are gonna look like. This is the rear pad. This one's a little bit thicker, but you can see this is. So it's time to go. You can see the press holes actually starting to show through. Okay, a lot more meat on this. So. Time to go. Okay, and then as far as this, if you guys can see, this is the bolt that holds this on, and this is a 10mm. We already loosened it, so I can literally go like this. Well, we'll just leave that on because we actually have to take this off real quick. Give me the 13, yeah. 13, right there. Thank you, sir. And voila, this is the caliper bracket. And now, should be able to, sure, with a little bit of persuasion. Want to whack it, Cameron? Oh, don't.
You have a hammer?
Yeah, right here. Now I'll go grab a little hammer I got. I can do it.
No, you have to break up the rust first. Break up the rust.
Oh, yeah. It's like getting a cake out of a pan. There she goes. Cool. Oh no, it's broken. No, I'm just joking. So we're gonna clean this surface, guys. You guys see this, all this corrosion on this mating surface. Actually, just show a little bit of a close up for you guys. You guys can see that. That's all need to be cleaned off. So we're gonna probably wire brush this a little bit, and then that's, I think, where you put some grease, right? Where you can put a little
anti-seize. Put a little anti-seize on that.
Just, yeah, just so it doesn't do that again, basically.
The grease is gonna go on the slide pins.
Yeah, the grease that we have is for that.
Because it's floating caliper, so they have to be on the slide pins.
Ready? Just use this.
That's clean.
Well, I'm gonna wipe it off. Yeah.
That's how you struggle with it. I was like,
Well, I didn't really want to like go. I didn't know how hard to go.
well, that bristle stuff's not gonna take off too much. It's all about just taking off that top coating. You don't have to go super hard.
Yeah, so you can see, and if you guys like use a grinder, you can get basically you can see these like lips on here, and basically when you put those calipers on, the spacing will be bad, and you'll have these like loose bad rotors, and it'll be really bad. So yeah, just use like a really light wire brush thing. Don't use a grinder. Like, be quick, but it'll be bad. So now we can get the rotor out, right?
Just make sure you line up the set screw hole.
Okay, so we got the new rotor. Is the camera good?
Yep.
Okay, and you can see these 5 holes. Well, you guys can see me pointing at those. You gotta line up with one of these. Should technically just automatically line up because
You can even use a butt bolt if you wanted to help line it up while you put in the set screw.
yeah, you want to get that for me? Doesn't go in very far, but that's why it's just called the set screw. And this is a little 10. Be like super torqued or anything, because it's just make sure it's tight. And that's when it's kind of tight. Okay, cool. And now, and like I said, I'll put the link in for the parts. These are made in Germany rotors, so pretty nice parts. Should be. They're just terrible. No, I'm just now we get to the caliper bit. Use the brake shield as a little rested here. And how far do these need to be?
All the way back.
Okay. Oh, this is not working. Oh, there it goes. It started ratcheting. We didn't check the brake fluid.
That's fine. We check it after.
Okay.
Yep, just like
It's
that.
like all the way open.
Should be good.
And then I'm gonna pull. You can do this. These out. This is what we're gonna grease up. So these are these slide pins, right? You call them?
Yeah. You don't grease the threads, just like
that
the slide
smooth
part,
bit.
smooth bit.
So this is that 7mm Allen we were talking about. So I'm gonna set this guy back up here.
It's still going. So.
Okay, guys, I got now the paper towel. Cam went and grabbed one for me, so I'm just gonna clean them off a little bit. It's just a bunch of brake dust and whatnot.
Yeah, we use rubber grease so it doesn't soak into the. Yeah, I used rubber grease so it doesn't soak into the rubber boots and everything.
So this rubber grease I'm gonna put on here. I think you can get this at the parts store, I'm assuming.
The Toyota stuff is really expensive, but I think it's like $10 a tube or something.
Yeah. So how much?
More.
Like a little pea size?
Just a little pea size, yeah. A little more. That's quite good. It's a thin coating. It's fine.
This pea size for 1 or 2?
Two's probably fine. They're small slide pins. Just don't lay it down on the grease. Just gotta stand above.
Yeah.
Or just put it right back into the caliper.
I'm just gonna stand up because I. That. Still got a little bit more. And this is important so you don't get the super squeaky, and also you can like seize your brakes and have a bad time when you replace the brakes again, or Just be thorough, I guess.
That's good.
I'm gonna wipe my finger off real quick and then insert them back in, and they're the same size, so you don't have to worry about which one came from which hole. There they go. I don't know if you guys can see this very good, but just put them back. They came. And they're nice and smooth in there now. Cool. Yeah, so right now I'm putting the bracket back on. Cameron has instructed me.
Try to keep the
Yeah, there we
pads
go.
clean, but or the rotors clean, but
We can wipe them off.
whatever.
So he's got his Mr. Ritchie tool here. 81 foot-pounds, guys, is what he said. Pretty freaking tight. The bottom one's not as easy to get to, but
Alright.
cool. You guys probably can't hear it, but that makes a little beep noise, and then it's ready to go. So now we can put the pads in.
Yeah, put pads in the caliper. Or put the rear pad in the caliper and the front pad in the bracket.
So once again, this rear pad has this like kind of clip gouge thing. Just gonna set that in there.
Do not touch the face of the pads.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I think it was kind of sitting down. Not the easiest thing to do. So you have to guide it in, and boom, popped in. Cool.
Put the other pad like in the bracket.
I'm just gonna push these pins back so I can kind of have more room to work with here. And what? Put the other pad in the bracket, you said?
Yeah, that'll be easier.
Set this right there. Just like that? Yeah.
Should just slide into the.
Not touching the face.
You're gonna have to kind of like wedge the back pad over the pad or over the rotor. You have to make sure the hose is not twisted.
Yeah, it's not twisted. It's good.
We had a guy who forgot to do that at our work. The brakes caught on fire, and 2 days later. So. All in there?
I don't know. Felt like it was going in. I'm just like, oh, it's spinning, but it's like it's greased, so it's really smooth anyways. So now because
And then this is going to be 30 Newton meters, which is
so 22 foot-pounds on this torque spec for the pins. So you have to put a little 8mm socket on there, Allen, and then you put that on there. .30 Newton meters.
You have a 3/8 8.
Yeah. Okay guys, so that is basically what the complete rear side does. Yeah, it's just the when you do them, just make sure you're using the right, I mean, they won't fit if you're doing the front bits. So this is what you do for the rears, and we will show you what you do for a front next. I mean, we're actually going to go do the other rear right now, but we're not going to show that on camera. So, yep. Okay, guys, so now we're at the front. We just did the back, but we just want to say Cameron was giving me some torque specs, and it turns out the torque specs for the 13 millimeter, right, in the fronts are 15s, but the 13 millimeter bracket bolts, we tightened to 110 foot-pounds. It's actually only 110 newton meters. It's only 60 newton meters. He was looking at a P3 generation XC70 spec sheet, so for the torque stuff. So we're just gonna get started on the front, by the way. Backs are all done, so we're gonna show you guys how to do the front. So similar thing, you're just gonna start by getting this spring clip off. This is the retaining spring. Just use your foot head. It'll just pop off like that. I already took the caps off these, but remember to replace them in the back, by the way, when you're done. Put the caps back on the slide valves. So this is a 15. You might already notice it's a little bit broken loose. We broke them loose. Huh? Oh yeah, I got the slide pins actually. But those are 15s for these guys. But this is still a 7 millimeter Allen. We are using a little wrench setup here. So we're gonna reach in here. And oh, it's loose. Well, yeah, no, we already broke these loose. These are still 22 foot-pounds everywhere, which is 30 newton meters all around for the slide pins, right? That's a pretty typical, like 22 to 25 foot-pounds is like a typical slide pin torque. Now I can take them all the way out. Just let them kind of sit in there. This lower one is just on the bottom side. It'll look exactly the same with that rubbery housing on it. And push that guy out of the way. Not all the way out. And now you should be able to, Cameron said you can kind of compress the pads, so you can kind of, what'd you do, Cameron? Just kind of like in here. Yeah, so this is just a little trick to make it easier. You don't have to do this. Yeah, so okay, that makes sense. You pry it basically against itself, and then now that it's kind of loose, you should be able to work this off. This is in the track. Maybe it needs a little more compression. Remember, these are old rotors you're going to be getting rid of, so. And like that. Remember this one, just like the back where it comes with it. Pull your old pad out of the front. And come over here, come over to the other side. We're going to remove this pad. It's going to rubber stick in there. These pads in the front weren't as bad, by the way. You can see they got plenty of life, but the rotors are ready. And also, I just wanted to do all four at once. So I'm gonna rest your caliper up in the wheel well, kind of like that. Make sure it's not hanging by this brake hose. You could damage the brake hose. It's not good. And now, with your 15, now you can get your bracket bolts. Make sure your e-brake is off when you're doing the back ones, or else the rotor, or the rotors will be basically stuck because the e-brake pushes out on like a little mini drum kind of setup. Set those out of the way. These had Loctite on them, but I'm not gonna do that. Now it's hammer time.
Set screw.
Oh yeah. Where's my? Yeah. Here's your little 10 millimeter. Oh, tightening. My bad. Sometimes they're a little tight. You just kind of break them, like snap them. They're so small, they're not really torqued. It's a little 10 millimeter kind of hex machine screw, not even really a bolt. There we go. Ears should be ringing a little bit. There's our old rotor. You can see a little bit of a lip on her. Where's me gunny? I'll be right back. But power tools are better. Okay. Rotor. And what we've been doing is just using a lug nut to center it. This is not a torque spec, this is just literally like, so this doesn't fall off. Now you can put the lug out, and we're gonna do the slide spin.
Bracket.
Yeah, we can do the bracket first, I guess. You can do actually either or, but we'll do the bracket first. And so these are only what now?
They're 100 newton meters.
So the fronts are 100 Newton meter, which I think is like 70 something foot-pound probably. In that range. 100 Newton meters on here. You can see we're set up. We're gonna do the bracket bolts. Cameron was bogarting socket in his pocket. No, I'm just joking. That wasn't great. 102. No, I'm just. Okay. Oh, almost perfect. Now, we'll mess with the actual caliper.
Compress it into pins.
Yep. So we're gonna get our little compressor set up here. Little rust knickknacks in there.
Also, the brake compressor is sold by Lyle.
Lyle Tools is what this is, but there's a lot of, I know there's like screw ones and there's all kinds of ones.
This one works on floating and fixed calipers.
Yeah, this one's nice. I like this. It's intuitive and quick. The screw ones is kind of annoying. But don't let them fall over when they're clean like that with the grease on them. Now you're just gonna go in like this, put your slide pin in, and then kind of slide it back and forth, make sure it's all lubricated up. That way there distributed the grease. push them back so you have the room to put the pad and everything. Once again, get the pad like this. The nub, half circle nub, goes like this, facing at the top of the caliper because it's upside down. There you go. And click in. And get your other guy and actually just free set it right onto the pad in the caliper. And now comes the slide pin bit. It's probably the hardest part as far as like needing to line some stuff up. It's not actually that hard really, but can't really see much when you're doing it. And then you get your, oh, shiza. Alan? Oh, wrong way. Come on now. There it is at 30. Get on the fucking, if it let me, come on. There we go. Oh, great, that's super cool. It is ratcheting, right?
Yeah, it matches.
Okay. This is always stuck in there. That's all it took. Very lightweight.
Alright,
Okay.
so as you can see,
Springs on.
you must have it behind that tab, otherwise the
Don't
brakes
go
will
in
be-
front like this, or else the rotor will just kind of, or the caliper will just kind of be loose, because this is actually just like gonna cock and slide, and yeah. So we can now put the wheel on, and actually I think that's everything. So yeah. I will put the link to the parts down below in the description, and that's how you replace your brakes. And make sure you put your caps on your slide pins like that. Yep, one more. Check out our, we have more videos on this car, by the way, working on it. So yeah, if you want to see us working on this Volvo and other stuff, all kinds of stuff, check those out.